While most people his age need an electronic device for entertainment, he goes out back to any piece of shit in front of him and works on it. Mother Nature doesn't want me to do this. Freaking solid hunk of ice within this has just taken the metal cable. Okay, I got this thing out. Okay, so as you can see, I've already done, brand new piston, brand new, cylinder head. I mean, you can see. It's all brand new already. Don't mind that. The carburetor doesn't work. I don't know if we have spark, because I don't want to test the spark, because I don't know if you can see that, but that doesn't have, like, one of those regular spark plug covers. That's how it came with from day one, which is kind of ridiculous. So there is a new air filter. That's a thing that we did off screen, and then a new puller, because the other one was literally rotting away and probably would have broke on the first pull. See, easy spin. That one didn't survive. Surprisingly, I think I mentioned this in the last video, but these rubber grips aren't sticky. Like, I think GM in the 70s should have, taken notes from this, what is it? That master tiller for their grips, like the rubber. And also, luckily for this, because it's, a workhorse from 1979, if I do anything to this, nobody's going to give a crap. There's no fandom, there's no well, you gotta put a Phillips head here. You can't have a flathead screw there. That's not right. Or whatever. Nobody's gonna care. I can do whatever I want. Let's go. That's why you need to buy or find, things like this for $0 or cheaper, or in your backyard, and work on it. Because nobody's gonna give a crap if you, put a big block Chevy here. Because they won't care. And surprisingly, this belt has a couple of cracks in it. Might be wondering, why don't you replace it? Budget's blown. I mean, we spent, $5 on a new air filter, $5 on that. Budget's blown, you guys. Like, I got negative $2.50 from buying a Reese's candy bar yesterday. So, no budget. Well, it would be more like $20 because, spoilers, but later in the video I do have to buy a, $20 bar. $0, except for the parts that I got laying around, because I got a bunch of Craftsman. But also, I have bunch of these extra bike parts, including all of that. Rubber, bunch of extra bike parts. There's a bunch of brake lines for bikes, so, it's definitely going to replace this. This is officially just a steel rod. That's it. It's just steel. I'm not going to spend the time, because I would have to cut it up in sections to loosen up the cable, and that takes time. And again, I can replace that, and nobody's going to give a crap. It's not original. It's not numbers matching to this. And also, dude, the stickers. This thing sat underneath my deck for 20 years and was used for, this thing's nearly 50 years old. So 1979. So, and that works. That engages that down there. So, as I do that, that's engaging the belt. So that's good. I'm happy that did not stick because that's safety. If I can get this running, it's still 40 degrees outside, but it's supposed to warm up over the next few days. This thing has to sit in my garage for another week until I can use it. I actually showed on this video. Like, everything here is nice. It's still, good. That wire brushed it, done. That thing looks brand new. I tried to get a spark plug for that. I'm going to try and use in the previous episode of this YouTube channel, revive that thing. I'm going to try and take out that spark plug and see if that will work in here. Because this thing's spark plug went in there perfectly fine. So, in that, I know that one works. So, I'm probably going to try and use that for this. And I'm trying not to kill myself with this, because that's just safety. And you can't just buy a cap for that. Why, China? You make everything else, but you can't make a rubber cover for that isn't a spark plug wire. Why? Why don't you just buy a new carburetor? Number one, what is blowing you guys? Like, negative $2.50. Number two, that's the carburetor. It goes in there. That ain't no, cheap Chinese, you can buy it. Yeah, the cap for this twisted off like a tuna can, you can see that. Let me just show you the inside of this tank. But do you see that? The carburetor, this fuel tank is the bowl of the carburetor. Smells really nice. Holy crap. Yeah, that's really gonna be fun. Because you can't even put a fuel filter on this. So I gotta take all this off. Very carefully take off the carburetor. If I break these bolts, number one, my dad's gonna kill me. Number two, a bunch of blunt, so we can't get new screws. So, gotta be very careful. And also, another thing, and this is the manual for it. It shows you how to adjust the idle adjustment screw and where it is. It shows you a little tiny picture. The stop switch, which I thought this thing didn't have a stop switch. Apparently it does. That. How to adjust the, the gap for the spark plug. That. And, there's that, the speed control to increase speed. That. And general info. Nobody tells you the bore of your, one cylinder motor anymore. The stroke of it. The displacement of it, specifically. The horsepower, and also the torque. Nobody tells you that anymore. And also all of that. It's gonna get that in frame. And also, thank God this thing does not have electric start. Because it probably would have corroded the entirety of that 20 years ago. And also it tells you, like, what to get. How to get it. Nobody tells you a different brand that you can go for it. They don't tell you that. They just give you a part number and go, here you go. You have to buy it from us. So, and also, the yellow pages. Anyone still got a phone book nowadays? Okay. Okay, so, I'm going to start taking that cover off. Probably going to be in standard. There's one here, huh? Yeah, I forgot that's just gone. Okay. Okay. So, that's completely gone. That's gonna need repairing. So, let's go and do that. Now, we gotta rebuild this. One quick disclaimer that I want to say. Number one, don't do what I'm doing. And number two, sorry about the mess in the backgrounds of this, on this workbench and the other workbench. But also, if you leave a hate comment saying, wow, you got a lot of junk. Hey man, I bet you got a place that you don't like to show people on the internet. And if you don't, then give a full tour of your house on the internet. I dare you to do that. So anyways, I'm going to use, these are from, extra slots on the back of my computer. You know, really thin Chinese metal. Really good. And a tin foil. You know, we ain't got no license plates. No self-tappers. This is the real budget channel here. We got no money for self-tappers. We got no license plates. We don't got sheet metal around here. We got literal scrap metal. License plates are scrap metal. That's technically sheet metal. I'm using some of this painter's tape. You might be wondering, aren't you using duct tape? Again, this is the real budget channel. We ain't got no duct tape. We do got some painter's tape. So with this tin foil, these two pieces of extremely thin metal and painter's tape, we're going to build the bottom of that. Before you say, well, there's going to be a lot of heat. The exhaust is on the other side, maybe. So I think it'll be fine. Let's get the rebuilding, shall we? Remember, kids, safety third. Oh, crap. Safety first, definitely. I'm putting on some gloves because I'm not totally stupid. Because this rust from 1979, this is real American rust. This is because, I think I showed it in the first episode of this, the mouse house. Well, the little tiny mouse house that was here. That's, yeah, really thin. I don't think I'm going to break everything off here. Okay, or I am. Who knows? Okay. So. Alright. Now, I'll try and put both of these Thank God that wasn't my finger. Part of the glove. Okay, well that's just gonna stay there now. You need to bend it like there. That's actively splitting apart. Can't get any more of this. Very valuable resource, so. Okay. Now, with our painter's tape. I'm going to, we're gonna redneck weld this, with tape. Not actually weld it. This is the redneck's welding. Using goddamn painter's tape. You know what painter's tape is also good for? Sealing up your windows. So if you're like a renter in a place or something, there's like a draft coming out of a window and you don't want to pay for it, or you're a homeowner and you're just a cheap bastard. Wide, like 3M painter's tape helps. Not paid to say that, clearly, because it's not really a rational thing to do, but, well, don't you see there? Oh. Like it was made to be. Alright. Now, I'm going to take some of this tin foil. Very precisely, just cut it. Oh. Okay. I'm just going to read it. And just, just stuff it up in there. Now, wait, we got the, $0 paint, so I'll find some kind of paint that's close to this. Because this is what you call safety. All these, big channels with their car lifts, oh, I work on a car. Not here. I think this is probably the most reliable YouTube channel out there. Because, no offense, nobody has a pole barn or an actual shop or a shed with concrete. Not everybody has that. But what most people will have, I don't know if this is accurate, but that's 25 square feet. So, I think everyone, has 25 square feet somewhere in their house. Whether it's in your garage, in your living room, I don't know, on your driveway, I don't know, in the parking lot of your apartment. Everybody has 25 square feet that they can work in, Not a big shop with a lift, or without a lift. Everybody in their house has at least 25 square feet. That's why I think this is the most relatable channel. Alright, back to work. Back to, rebuilding this. Definitely. I had to actually rebuild, you guys, not just spray paint this time. I know, we're really coming up in the world. Tell me you would not trust that with your car, You can use tin foil and tape and very thin Chinese metal, to rebuild your rusted out floors. So, alright. Well, time to paint. Okay, so now with the definitely, paint matched spray paint that was lying around, that I actually rebuilt the engine with. Yeah, can this come out? Please? Well, that's good enough, because this spray can is kind of clogging up, so I'm going to just have to take that apart. Okay, well, looks like the mice didn't get at that. Probably because you have to soak these filters in motor oil, so they probably didn't like that. So that's probably a good thing. You should soak everything in oil and then light a match and see what happens. Luckily, these are like Phillips head screws, so. Okay, so I have to take the muffler off to be able to get to that screw, but there's tabs right here that are pushing against that. I wonder if that was like a quote-unquote thread locker, like that locked in the bolts. Or it's just, you know, like nowadays, there's like a screw underneath, like a sticker, that says, it'll void your warranty. Okay, so I use a bunch of PB Blaster. I'd highly recommend to get that today. Definitely not sponsored. So anyways, I use some PB Blaster and put it on pretty much any bolt that I'm going to be taking off today. But I took off the exhaust, and I don't know if you can see that, but that's threaded. This end isn't threaded at all. And the only reason why that's really soaked is because I put PB Blaster in between it. But I've never seen that before. That must be, carbon. Might clean that up, or just leave it. I say she'll run, she'll run. Thought I was gonna have to pull out the hammer, but like butter. Okay, so a bit of a progress update. I got that in. Brake cable line for my bike, because I got a bunch of these, because I was trying to replace the rear brake cable. So I was able to get this in. I had to drill this out for that to work, and the little tiny notches in here work, and that holds. So that's good. I guess I got a throttle cable number for $0. Let's go! Thank you for watching this. I know it was kind of stitched together, not the best, but thank you for watching.